Proudest moment playing hockey?
It's pretty hard to pass up the silver medal at Com Games.
Is there anything that, like any sort of skill set that could pass over from being a sports person to being a businessman?
It's a good question. I think actually played for New Zealand for about 8 years, 110 caps.
What majority of the population do you think would be underinsured?
The vast majority.
Vast majority.
Yeah. I'd say there's a lot of people that aren't insured whatsoever, so naturally they're underinsured.
Yes.
And then the majority of people that I then talk to, it'd be maybe 70% of people have, first of all, the wrong covers or a lesser amount of cover than they should have.
Yep.
But I think there's just a massive she'll be right kind of attitude in New Zealand, or that'll never happen to me, but it's very easy to just then go, okay, well, do you know anyone that has suffered cancer before? And everyone in New Zealand knows without even 2 degrees of separation, it's straight contact. Yes, my auntie, my friend, my brother, or whatever.
Yep.
So people are so, oh, it will never happen to me, but then it's very easy to quickly point out people within their own circles that have had something happen to them.
Yes.
And a lot of the time, the sad part for me is when I'm talking to people, I might have already talked to them and then they ghost or they kind of just go away and no, that's not for us, but we'll get this little amount. And then something happens to a family member and they come back and we see the financial toll that it's had on them.
Wow.
We need to go ahead with kind of what you said.
Yes.
Or in the worst case, something has actually happened to them. I've had a case recently where they reached out and said, hey, I've just recently been diagnosed with X.
Yep.
Do I have any cover for this? And I go back in the records and I look at my recommendation, clear as day, you need this. This is what it would protect. This is when it would pay out.
Yes.
And then end of the recommendation, didn't go ahead with X cover due to cost or didn't feel like they needed it at the time. And it's like, well, here's someone that could have got $100,000 to help with treatment, time off work, whatever it might be.
Yep.
And they're only coming back to revisit it once something has happened, and it's just too late at that point.
Cool, mate. So we talked about the sort of the negatives of not insuring yourself or not having enough insurance. What about some positives? You work with some clients where you've given them some insurance and then they've managed to get a bit of money out of a terrible situation?
Yeah, well, I actually had one very recently, actually still on claim now, who was a manual worker, so obviously a little bit easier to be out of work than the likes of you and me. I won't give too much information, but he basically fell over and snapped his thumb and made him unable to do his job. But for the majority of manual workers that I deal with, I suggest getting something called either accidental injury cover or specific injury cover. You break your arm, that's actually going to put you out of action for about 6-8 weeks.
Yep.
And for him, he's actually now been off for a few months, so he's actually also got his income protection paid out.
Oh, wow.
But for this guy, I as I normally do, recommend the added cover that people, I guess if they went and did it themselves, probably would have no idea about.
Yeah.
And as soon as they got acknowledgement that he'd snapped his thumb, there was $5,000 in his bank account, which just tided him over for basically for his wait period until his income protection kicked in. We originally thought he'd actually be back at work within a couple of months, but no, he's still off. So pretty much has gone paid during that whole time with ACC on top. So financially, he's been pretty sweet.
Exactly, that's a really good warm win story. Yeah, I like it. So what would you say are some sort of common misconceptions with insurance?
Well, I think a lot of the time people rely very heavily on what they hear from friends, family, barbecue, bar talk, and take that as kind of gospel, and that's their advice, which I think in everyday life, like, you want to rely on those people. But it's like, you're not going to go to your mate who knows absolutely nothing about cars to talk about how to fix your car. You take it to a mechanic. Or some of these people that you talk to probably, have made some terrible financial decisions. So why not talk to someone that actually knows what they're doing? But I mean, the benefit of someone like me is that I'm free. I cost the same amount as the people that you're talking to at the barbecue or at the bar or whatever. So why not utilize someone that's actually kind of qualified, first of all, to give the advice. If you know the remuneration structure behind who's giving you the advice as well, that's pretty important. So at Float, we're purely salary based. We have no ties to commission. You don't really want to base your financial future on what you spoke to your mate about at a barbecue one time, because guaranteed if something happens to you and your income disappears and now you're having to sell the house, all that kind of stuff, it's not like you're going to go back and be like, well, he told me I should do that, So,
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just making sure you ask the right people the right questions, I guess. Oh, straight at it.
Cool. And so that introduction sort of meeting where you ask them a few questions, understand their background, what they're trying to cover, that's all free. How long would you say it would take?
The first meeting, maybe like 20 minutes. It's super, super quick and easy. It's just a get to know you meeting, understand your background, your lifestyle, if you're fit and active, if you, like what you're, obviously the financial background of things as well, because we want to make sure we're covering or making sure we know and aware of that, what your risk profile is.
Fantastic. And so if somebody wants to reach out, have a look below, pausing the video. Contact details are here for Cory. Reach out to him. It's free, 20 minutes. That'll give you an understanding. And I'm guessing a lot of it is also just quickly Teams. You can do Teams. You can do face-to-face.
90% of my stuff's on video, so you can do countrywide.
Cool, mate. Appreciate it. Nice. Thank you.